friends, it's Lisa here from Arcaneandstellar. Welcome to my channel. Glad that you're here today. Now, in this reading, we're going to be looking at what is their purpose in your life. You can apply this to any kind of connection, whether it's a new acquaintance, a lover, a friend, a partner, a family member. I'll try to keep it as open-minded as I can, and yeah, we'll see what comes through. So we have 4 different groups to choose from. And you can choose one for different people, different connections, whatever you like. But yeah, we have group number 1 here with Pyrite, group number 2 with Desert Rose, group number 3 with Citrine, and group number 4 with this Pendulum. So yeah, go ahead and choose with your intuition. If you do find that you get into a pile and you're like, this doesn't resonate, try to go back to the beginning and see if perhaps you get a clearer view of the right group for you. Okay, so it's very important for you to be using your intuition as you tune into these readings. So yeah, clear your mind, take a breath, and go with your gut. Okay, so yeah, and I want to say thank you all for being so patient. I know I haven't been the best at uploading lately. I'm also very behind in a lot of my readings as well. So for those of you that have been waiting patiently, I appreciate it a lot. I've had nothing but trouble lately. January's been a really tough month. I had a lot of work, but on top of that, I also had a lot of personal issues. There's health issues in the family, and then I had to top it all off. My engine in the car that I have broke, so very expensive, very annoying problem. Have to replace the whole thing. So that's been a pain in the butt, and it's been trying to find a mechanic, trying to find an engine, you know what I mean? It's been hell, and I only have one car, for my whole family, so very annoying. And my husband's about to start a job, so we have to get it fixed ASAP. Anyway, it's been kind of a hellish time for me, so thank you for that patience, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, guys, and I will go ahead and start this reading. So friends, hello, you chose group number 1 with this Pyrite. Let's get started. I'm just going to do my little ritual here with my, you guys probably see this in personal readings for those of you that get personal readings. I just didn't get a chance to do it before. And let's get started. Spirit guides, angels, and ancestors, just guide me in this reading. I've already kind of pulled some cards, so I've got a few. Let's see, what is the purpose of your connection? The connection that's on your mind, whatever kind it is. So we have got Gaia, Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth, and stay grounded. We also have birds of a feather. I find that interesting that we have grounded energy, but then we also have kind of the flight of birds here as well. So that's kind of an interesting correlation there. Now, birds of a feather. This particular card talks about sharing, community, a sense of belonging, fellowship with like-hearted people, and understanding the concept of we before me, which is quite fascinating. We before me. And that's very interesting because of the earth energy of Gaia, being mindful of everybody on the planet as an example. So this is somehow, maybe this is a community connection in some way, or a networking connection. I don't know if that's going to be the ultimate purpose. We'll kind of keep defining this through the cards, but oh, that's weird. I said define, and we have define here, defining this. And maybe that's something that's kind of under the rays of the future, there's still a lot of definition to be found in this connection, and what you'll plan to do with it, or what you will do with it. I do see processing energy here, so I do feel like this is a relationship in which you will learn a lot about yourself, process a lot of information. Tell me more about group number 1's connection, the purpose. Okay, we see the 3 of Pentacles as well. And we have the Queen of Wands as well as the 5 of Wands. Well, that is interesting. So I am getting kind of a collaborative effort. We before me. That is that keeps sticking in my head. So for some of you, and this might be reflective of the person, it could be that both of you are learning how to teamwork, how to include other people. So for some of you, especially if this is a work connection, this might be about collaboration, teaching you how to collaborate. If you're usually soloing it, like a Queen of Wands, this might be about how can we collaborate and how can we become a we in some way. So that's, I feel like for some of you, especially there's the Five of Wands here with competition. A competitive kind of energetic vibe. This might be about also finding practical solution. Interesting. The Ten of Swords is here as well. Why are we getting such, I guess, hardcore energy? Hardcore energy. And there's the Five of Swords. Five of Wands, Five of Swords, Ten of Swords, and Justice. Interesting. So this might actually be a connection that proves to you something different maybe than what you've experienced or what this person's experienced. Perhaps in the past, friendships or connections of all kinds were always full of strife or difficulty or competitive, jealousness, and so on and so forth. And it might have caused you or this person to become a certain type of person. You know, we gain our personality based on our experiences oftentimes. So yeah, like usually people are a little bit tougher. It's because they've learned to be tough, as an example. You know, I mean, I think some people can remain kind no matter what, but yeah, there is something here. Let me see. What about the lesson? Can you give me like a lesson card from this deck? Oops. Give me one lesson card from this deck. Okay. Let's see. What is a lesson? Passive conformity. Interesting. It's interesting about we versus me. And I wonder if for some reason some of you or this person has found that relationships are always competitive, or it was more about me, 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 me. And this is a one where you're going to sort of come together to do something. And with passive conformity, it could be that both of you, maybe if you had particularly difficult situations, you always kind of just let it go or turn a blind eye to it. I mean, for some of you, if this has been a difficult connection in which this person's acted that way, well, then this might be you learning how to take passive conformity and turn it into more active energy of like being fair to yourself, as an example. I definitely see that as a possibility. A leg up, helping each other, as an example. That's interesting. Hopefully it seems like either you or this person can help each other. And I don't know, this could be mutual, but I do kind of feel like it might be that one of you is a little bit more of a helper than the other person. Just gonna say that. I think it can still be fairly balanced. It might be that you help this person in one way, they help you in another way, but I want to say that someone is meant to sort of help the other gain some sort of footing in life. We have Clean It Up as well, which can talk about decluttering past situations, finding balance in oneself, clearing out the past. So again, it might be that you're brought into this person's life to help them clean up their life in some way as well. So especially if they have any certain habits that aren't really helpful to them. And this could come in like mundane ways, like literally helping them like clean up their business, or for others of you, you know, or you know, and like maybe clearing out past things, like they went through, you know, a terrible like situation in their life and you're helping them literally. But for others of you, of course, this might just be about clearing out energetic baggage and giving someone a helping hand. For some of you, this might be where you prove to this person that there are helpers out there, and vice versa. You know what I mean? It could be that they're proving to you that helpers are out there, that there are people that care, that not everything goes sour, as an example. There's also something about defining oneself. This could be a very defining connection as well. I really do feel like that. But that passive conformity, I want to find out a little bit more about this. What do you mean by passive conformity as a lesson? The Fool. Oh, that's interesting. So the Fool is always about taking a risk, taking a jump, taking a leap of faith. And perhaps in the past, it's easier to kind of hide oneself, not take a risk, not take a jump, not take a leap. And this person's sort of the one that would, or you will help this person kind of get out of that conformity of hiding away, as an example, and show oneself. I wonder, because look at that, we have the groundedness and then we have the flight, and there's almost like a support and somebody spreading their wings. It's like that. There's a song by Nickel Creek. Not Nickelback, Nickel Creek. And it's When You Come Back Down. That particular song. So maybe some of you want to listen to that song, because I think that could fit the vibe of this connection I'm seeing as an example. But yeah, I love it. I think that this connection can be very helpful, especially to one particular person, I want to say. And that doesn't mean it wouldn't last or blah blah blah. I'm not really reading for that. I'm just more seeing a purpose or a lesson, rather than like trying to define the whole entire relationship for a full group of people. So yeah, you might have to put it either way, and hopefully it's mutual, because I think that's always a nice thing when two people cause each other to come out of their shell. But for sure, I think at least one person will benefit from this, either you or the other person, for certainly. But yeah, that is what I'm seeing here for this reading. I feel like this is an earth connection that was meant to be collaborative and communicative, and it seems like a networking. This is also about defining perhaps your dreams and helping each other out. Hopefully, again, one of you will help. I mean, hopefully it'll be mutual, like that both of you will help each other, but I at least see one of you helping the other quite a bit, and perhaps helping them redefine what relationships are, whatever the nature of the relationship is. So very, very nice energy. Thank you so much for being here, and I really wish you all the very, very best. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next reading. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey friends, so if you chose group number 2 here with this desert rose, there we go. This is your reading. So I've already kind of did my oil, so I'm just going to cleanse this area. There we go. So, what is the purpose of the connection that's on your mind? Like I said in the beginning, we can be applying this to really any connection. I'm going to keep it open-ended as much as possible. But we have here Paul the Venetian, experiencing grace. Share your gifts of grace, waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. We also have the Royal You. And accept, to acknowledge, to recognize, to register as true, to validate, to affirm, and to own. Very interesting. So accepting perhaps something about yourself. Perhaps it's your own divinity or your own possibility, your own specialness for some of you. Sovereignty, responsibility, self-confidence, self-rule, ownership of your feelings and actions, a quiet sense of empowerment, being self-aware, not allowing outside influences out of alignment with your truth. Interesting. So sharing your gifts of grace. I really feel like for some reason this person's meant to help you accept your beauty in some way. Look at that. And we have like blossoming flowers in both of these cards. So this is about expressing yourself in a way that feels right within you, I feel. And vice versa, like I said to the other group, this may be that you're meant to show this person that. Sometimes one's affecting the other a little bit more than the other affects. I mean, they still get the benefit of it, but sometimes when we come together as humans, there might be one person who's getting a little bit more out of it in a lesson. It doesn't mean that, especially for those of you that are listening that are in romantic situations, it doesn't mean, oh, you can't be with them or it won't work out, blah, 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 blah. That's not really that concern of this reading. It's more just about the general nature of the purpose. So yeah, this is about accepting someone's gifts and their sovereignty as well. So maybe for some of you, you're going to get this person to stand up on their own 2 feet in some way, or vice versa. Maybe they'll help you understand we have soulmates. Soulmates came out. So this is definitely a soul connection. And To the Sea. Oh, I love it. Now, To the Sea is an interesting card because she's always kind of just sitting there, not really directing anything. So maybe this is about accepting a direction or finding oneself in a way. Let's look at this card. So To the Sea says, being in flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. That's very interesting because, again, soul connections are usually meant to kind of carry out some kind of purpose, right? So I do feel like this is a relationship that will flow how it's meant to flow. in some way, and that there is a natural pattern between the two of you that you, so again, if we talk about like past lives as an example, it may be that you have a past life connection with this person, so you will be tending to sort of go with the flow of that previous connection, like a past life connection. Yeah. There are points in relationships when you have to decide to go with the flow rather than dictate the course you share with another. Can you let go of the need to have things your way and allow the relationship itself, your combined goals and desires to steer the ship? Can you both transcend your personalities and allow the partnership to form its own identity, its own energy? Now is the time to relax and see where this mutual journey leads. That's interesting too, because accepting that you can't control everything as well. For some of you, if you really have been trying to steer the course of this relationship, or the other person has, maybe this is about just telling you that you need to allow it to blossom how it's going to blossom. Okay, that might be the purpose, is learning how to let go and let God, or letting spirit, whatever you want to, however you'd like to put it. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. Let's look at here. I'm going to use my past life cards to maybe get an idea of a lesson for this group. Group number 2's lesson with their person. Forgiveness. Interesting. Forgiveness. And that could be about letting go and forgiving, as an example, with grace. Accepting that someone's not perfect. Maybe that someone, for some of you, especially if this has been a painful connection that you've had, but accepting that you're important, that your values, your heart is important, and it's okay if this person can't respect that, honor that. It doesn't mean that you have to kind of keep them around. For some of you, if this has been a gosh, I want to say the wrong word, I guess. Difficult relationship, let's just say that. Tumultuous. Why do I cannot say it? I cannot say it. Mercury retrograde. I can't say it. Oh, what's wrong with me? Okay, group number 2, tell me more about this connection. I feel like for many of you, you've probably had a lot of past lives with this person, more than one. Or, yeah, I think there's a good possibility. Interesting. Page of swords, I think, here, and then we have, or that's a page of coins, sorry, page of coins, and then we have the page of cups. I always want to say wands for some reason, and it's because it's red. Yeah, this deck throws me off the pages every time. Well, we have the page of coins and the page of cups. Very compatible energy, actually, because earth and water tend to flow really well together, especially like astrologically, and I think elementally as well. It makes sense. So this is about refinement, I think. It's so interesting about the shining aspect here with the sun, the royalty, you know, in the sun in astrology. A lot of times if it's in the 12th house, by the way, people have had some sort of status in a past life, like they were somebody special, or like someone respected or honored or something like that, someone important in their past life. That's a really common manifestation. But and I think it's somehow in this, we're supposed to light something up for each other here with this connection. Let's see. For some of you, there might be something that needs to be redone a little bit in this connection, like especially if there was a past life one, there might have been something that wasn't quite done right in a past life, actually. Interesting. One thing I want to say is that emotional growth is a big one here. I feel like with the King of Cups, it's like telling us that we find ourselves emotionally satisfied, emotionally calm, unwavering in some way as well. For some of you, this might be about not always compromising, but learning how to kind of own up your power and say no, or accepting that you can't change someone. That might be for some of you. I really do feel like that message is. So it might be a lesson in terms of like letting go and not controlling. For others of you, I feel like this could be about asserting yourself in some way as well. Because it says to validate, to affirm, and to own. Like to own your feelings as an example, to express yourself in some way. That might be the emotional growth you need in this lifetime, to learn how to step up for yourself, to find forgiveness also. For some of you, especially if you have a hard time saying something and you get angry at yourself, or you feel like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, I don't deserve to say that. Again, this might be about forgiving yourself and allowing yourself to have feelings. I noticed a card over here, and I'm just going to pull it over here, but I saw position of authority when I was saying that, and it's like, maybe that's what some of you need to be doing here, is learning how to accept and assert your authority in your own life. And this is a connection where you can do that, or where you can learn that in some way. Like, this person will be willing to work with you or listen to you, or at least you could, I think so. I think this is a workable relationship, it feels like to me. This doesn't feel like, I don't know what kind of relationship it is. I don't see anything specifically like romantic. Soulmates is not romance. Okay, guys. I mean, it could be. Could be. It's not saying it's not. It's just not. Like I said, I kept this kind of open-ended, so it could be really for anything. But yeah. And for some of you, like I said, this might be accepting that you can't change this person, and that you're also important, and it's worth investing in your own feelings and your own emotional growth by stepping away, forgiving, and letting go. Like I said, it kind of feels like it could be a few different ways. So hopefully one of those ways resonates with you. Or you understand where I'm coming from when I say that. But yeah. And it is part of the soul journey. I think of the Eight of Cups often as like, the direction we're meant to go in. So I think this is creating a lot of growth within you, perhaps within this person, emotionally, but also in a practical sense. There's like practical lessons involved, and you guys might be able to help each other quite a bit in a practical sense as well. Some of you might work together or are meant to work together in some way. There could be an encouragement that comes through, like a hyping up of each other, taking direction as well. But that's kind of the vibe I'm getting for those of you that chose group number 2. That feels like the purpose of the connection you're asking about. So hopefully those gave you some interesting answers. Like I said, I know there were about 2 different stories there, but hopefully you know which one's yours, and this reading is helpful to you. So I wish you nothing but the best. Take care, guys. Subscribe, like if you can, and I'd love to see you guys in another reading. So take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey friends, if you chose group number 3 here with this citrine, this is your reading. So what is the purpose of your connection? Any connection, like I said, platonic, romantic, familial, however you want it. This is your reading. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cards that we have so far, and we'll pull some more. So we have Green Tara, Supreme Protection. You are protected, cords are being cut, move beyond limitation and trust. We also have Healing of the Heart, as well as balance. To stabilize, to return to the now, to find equilibrium and harmony. I have a good feeling that some of you are helping this person, or vice versa, cut the cords in some way. So there might be some sort of energetic cords. Perhaps for some of you this is a lead out of a difficult situation for you or for this other person. So it could be like transitional energy, if you know what I mean. Like someone who's helping you transition. So let's find out a little bit more here about group number 3's connection. What is the purpose? Oh, that's interesting. The star is all about healing. Oh, yeah. We have dreaming and healing, and what is up with the Four of Cups? There might be certain things that they're going to help you with that you've been ignoring, or vice versa. Maybe you'll help them. Kind of, maybe there's something practical that they're invested in, as an example, where you might be able to kind of help them see the light in some way as well. Some of you might be helping them with some sort of work project or something to fix their life in general, or vice versa. Like I said, it could be this person doing it for you as well. That Healing the Heart card, number 23. I want to go ahead and look at the... I think we can understand that it's about healing, making amends, the willingness to release past pain, being responsible and accountable, taking time to get healthy, renewal and rebirth after suffering. When you're wounded emotionally, you need time to regroup and find your center. You may have recently endured a breakup or betrayal, lost someone close to you, or lost an affiliation that gave you too much power to. that you gave too much power to. Perhaps you're watching someone go through a difficult time and you feel bad that you can't help them. Maybe you're still not over a past disagreement. No matter the cause of this heartache, deep healing is called for. This happens on its own timetable and can never be rushed. The path to healing the heart centers on reciprocity, the flow of giving and receiving. Sometimes wounding occurs because we become too dependent on another, and this is accompanied by the desire to manipulate or control an outcome. That's very interesting about cords being cut and balance. I wonder if some of you have had situations that were very codependent, or they have in some way, and this might be teaching you a more balanced approach to connection. Like, for some of you, this might be very learned behavior, as an example of codependency, or it might be for them, like something that they've sort of always knew. For some, they might be really stuck in so for some of you, it's like, I feel like you might be able to help this person get out of poverty. I don't know, that seems like a personal message for someone, or like helping them kind of reach something in their life, like get an education or to improve themselves, to kind of cut a cord maybe to a difficult past, like a poverty past or something like that. I have to say, I feel like for some of you, I know that may not resonate with everyone, so please don't take it if it's not yours, but there's definitely something here about moving away from past energy and healing, finding the strength and the excitement to move forward in life as well. So this might be a transitionary relationship, I won't lie, for some of you. Doesn't mean it wouldn't last forever, but yeah. Group number 3, tell me more about the purpose of this connection. Mending. Oh yeah, we're getting like total, and look at that, to be fair is right underneath it trying to come out, so we'll just take it, because that really, I think, talks about balance. With to be fair, it's about handling with wisdom, thinking before we feel always, sometimes as well, especially if our feelings are wounded and we tend to overreact, or they do as well. You know what I mean? Like I said, it can go either way. But yeah, this is all about mending this relationship, learning to forgive, perhaps, for some of you. For others of you, learning how to move on and mend your problems, your pain, or for them too. What's the lesson here? Oh, darn it. I knew that was going to fall down. Picking someone up when they fall down. Right? We dropped the card. And maybe some of you will drop a few lessons with this person. Maybe this won't be such an easy one always. Becoming more natural. Interesting. So natural reminds me of like allowing things to kind of flow. Sorry. Nature doesn't try to squeeze. Maybe with the codependency, it's not always a natural way of being. To be codependent is an example, and so maybe this is about being more natural, or trusting even. Because think about it, when we are babies, as an example, we come into the world very natural. We don't have any preconceived notions. So this is all about healing on a deep level. Healing the home, the family, perhaps, the roots, the stability, the core, is what I feel. Maybe these are childhood wounds for some of you. This might be about creating a balanced family, a second try, for instance. So some of you, if this is like a love partner, this might be about learning or if it's a family, like, or somebody who's kind of like come into your family or something, this could be about creating a new type of family. But this is something about finding a balanced sense of happiness in oneself. Independent happiness too with the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups isn't reliant on somebody else. It's about personal fulfillment. So I feel like that too, if there are codependent, because oftentimes when there's codependency, we're only happy if the other person's happy, or vice versa. And so if one's feeling down, the other one's got to feel down, and that's not a healthy way to live. So this could be about finding a connection that is very balanced and not codependent. And maybe for some of you, it's going to be about discovering where you're codependent in your life, or vice versa for them. Like I said, don't take it if it's not yours. It might be on this person. And it's true that sometimes one person's getting a bit more out of the connection in terms of lessons than the other person, depending on how evolved everyone is and what's going on. And all that stuff. And of course, this is general, so there's a lot of people possibly watching this. I don't know how many will watch it, but you know, we have to keep it kind of open to interpretation here. But yeah, I could say that there's definitely something here about stability and protection and being comfortable in oneself. And I think that that's about knowing that there's something better out there as well. Maybe for one or two of you, like, I mean, especially, I mean, maybe for the both of you or just for one of you as well. But it seems like quite a beautiful relationship, beautiful connection. I can't tell you whether it's romantic or platonic from this, because I feel like it's very open-ended. For some of you, it might be even like kind of familial, like a family member or something like that. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I might take a general energy checkup for like maybe the person you're asking about, their energy towards you at this time. I might do that. I didn't do that for the other groups, but I might do it for this one. So, what is their person's energy towards them at the moment? There is something here too about giving and receiving, I feel. Okay, we have the Ten of Wands. Actually, the Ten of Swords came out too, so they could be feeling a little bit burdened or overwhelmed right now in life. Perhaps they're going through this situation right now. I do see there might sometimes be differences between the two of you, I want to say, like maybe different mindsets or different ways of behaving or modes of reaction as well. But I would say that this person's energy is faithful and loyal, and I would say that they respect your mind and your own power in some way, or at least say, but it might be hard. Why is this Ten of Wands there? Oh, 10 of Pentacles, or 9 of Pentacles, sorry. Not 10. I couldn't read the number. The number is like too light. I can't read it. So this might be about, ooh, interesting. Well, it could be that there's a little bit of an imbalance in terms of one person being, like maybe one's trying to help the other and the other isn't exactly letting them. That might be something here. With the Fool here, well, I want to say that they're kind of comfortable. They might be willing to take a risk with you in some way. There might be something, though, about risk. If you have been risky or difficult or hard to pin down, they might be kind of bothered by that at the moment. That's going to depend, I think. For some, your encouragement is helping them create some sort of new decisions in their life as well. Or they're hoping that for you. Maybe they're hoping to help you with something difficult, to help you balance something in your life, to find a solution. But yeah, that is what I would say. It's interesting that that mending and heal the heart came out. It's really all about finding some sort of peace within one's heart and wisdom as well. So yeah, I would say, and trusting. So maybe this is about learning to trust again, as for some of you, especially if, maybe for this person, if they've had a difficult time trusting people. Maybe they can learn about equilibrium and harmony, how to have a harmonious relationship. Again, if they've had imbalanced relationships, or you have, that's what this is about, is creating or learning that you need more balanced relationships too, possibly. But I think that there's good potential for this one, to have a lot of growth and support and protection. Like, I do feel like there's a lot of protection, like both of you want to kind of take care of the other in some way and watch each other's back, no matter what the connection is. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for those of you that chose group number 3. Hopefully this reading was interesting and helpful. I do wish you the very, very best. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in another reading, okay? Bye-bye. Hey friends, so if you chose this last group here with the pendulum, this is your reading. So let's find out what the person on your mind, what is their purpose? what's the purpose of the connection? What's their purpose for you? Like, what's the purpose, I guess, is essentially what we're looking at. Not in your life necessarily, because these might go vice versa. Some of the lessons. Oh, interesting. So we have Mercury, open communication, get weight off your chest, speak up with love and be heard. So we might have difficult Mercury placements, guys. We might have Mercury in detriment or fall. We might have difficult aspects to our Mercury, perhaps like Neptune or Saturn or Pluto as an example. Not Pluto. Pluto usually doesn't have such a hard time speaking their mind. Not Pluto Mercury's. Not when they have a problem usually. But no, for instance, like Mercury square Moon is an example. Some of you might have difficult ones. Whereas Mercury weak in Sagittarius, right? In Pisces. So, yeah, that's one of the 2 weaker signs for Mercury to be in. Doesn't mean anything bad, actually. In fact, in Vedic, I have Mercury in Pisces, and so did Einstein, by the way. So did Einstein, by the way. He had the same Mercury as me. But I have no Einstein, let me tell you. But no, in the Western, I have an Aries Mercury, and so did Einstein. But anyway, no, I really feel like some of you might have a hard time speaking up or something. For some of you. This is such a weird one. We have Mercury, and then we have the storyteller. Some of you might actually be in this connection to write a book. Like in a literal sense, or tell a story. It might be that this person serves as a muse or an inspiration. And it might not just be a book. It might be some sort of expression, or to create something, to publish something. Absolutely. This could be about someone helping you manifest something in the reality, like publishing something or writing something. This is I think this is the most interesting pile so far, just gonna say. I felt like the other ones were kind of boring. Okay, not boring, but just kind of like, okay, all right, but like same old, but this one's different. Let's see, what is the purpose of this connection? The Fool, taking risks, taking chances, emotional support, the Star. This is all about taking some risks towards dreams. This is about forward growth and movement. This seems like a very nice connection. Wow, this is very interesting. The Storyteller. Hold on, let's go ahead and look at that card. It's number 17. Maybe that number is relevant. Maybe you, yeah, maybe this is important. The Storyteller. Identity, positive self-definition, teaching others how to treat you through the stories you tell about who you are. Do you know the story you tell others about who you are? You're a unique being with unique talents and a story unique to you and your experience. In fact, your destiny can be found in the way you weave together these threads of yourself in the world. If there's anything in your life you want to change, then it's time to adjust the story that you tell about yourself. Perhaps you're too self-deprecating, or you're apologetic about how you shine, minimizing your power so others will accept you. Perhaps the way you voice your expectations diminishes your ability to succeed, or you're too willing to tolerate a less than supportive environment. It's easy to be in denial when it comes to others and their behavior towards you. However, understand that how you teach people how to treat you through how you talk about yourself. Once you recognize that what story you're telling others about how to treat you, you can tell a different one. What if you could connect to your true power as a co-creator of your reality? The story originates in your mind, how you think, your conditioning and past experiences, how you view the world and what you expect to see in it. The truth is, you have everything you need to tell a new tale and weave more blessings into the world as your unique contribution. In fact, practice speaking of your amazing success, your overflowing abundance, and all the love that surrounds you, and soon the outer world will tell the same story back to you. So this is all about defining and expansion. There may be a way of this person having an influence on you standing out. So this might, or vice versa, maybe you'll help this person create something, by the way. You know what I mean? It might go vice versa in these readings. But yeah, this is definitely about getting in touch with your true voice, and also with not being afraid of expressing it for whatever reason that might be, whether it's getting on social media and showing your face, or making a YouTube channel, or writing a book, or getting your article published, or finding inspiration to create a project as well, tapping into your mind. Very nice. What is the lesson? We had a farmer pop out, but lesson, passive conformity Yeah, not being a conformer, not being passive in this lifetime, but expressing, writing down what you want. I feel like this is very soul-based connection. This does feel like very like also connected to the life path. We have mending. Holy smokes. What happened? We have time to go. Chop wood and imagine. Oh, interesting about chop wood. So chop wood is all about creating routine and doing the routine. And so for some of you, this might be about bringing reality to dreams. Like someone who gets on your ass to get something done. To actually, this person or you might be actually really involved in their destiny somehow into terms of like making something, creating something. And this may go both ways, either way. Keep that open. Like I said a few times already, I just want to kind of emphasize that. Because for some of you might hear it and you'll think, oh, that's not da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? But there's also the mending aspect here too. It says here, forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. So it says each time we're hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal, the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments. And resentment often comes from not speaking up. That's when people get like pissy, and when they become sort of like inside of them becomes like a hurricane, you know, where it can become very powerful. It builds up kind of like a tornado, you know, that kind of keeps taking, and it all sits in there, and then eventually kind of like, you know, goes out and like destroys. And I feel like, so for some of you that might be something here about how to have healthy expression. But I still feel like there's a huge component about stepping out of your comfort zone in creation. So there's also that added bonus here. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. And with the relationship message, it does talk about coming to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you are to move forward. Separate or together, you and the other person are still experiencing the effects of a hurt that is impacting everything you do, even if you're not aware of it. The energy needs to clear. What must you do to bridge this gap? Closing your heart's not the answer. You have the power to heal this wound. Ask yourself, what would love do? And only good will come from forgiveness and an honest redress. So yeah, that's so interesting. So moving on, and maybe in some way this person will help you move on from some past hurt. Maybe it's not to do with them. Maybe it's about previous things as well. Whether this is insecurity of speaking up to others, or speaking in group situations, public situations, with family, with, you know, in any kind of situation. But yeah, time to go is all about completion, walking away from something because there's nothing else to learn or experience. And letting go of like the journeys that are no longer yours, and especially if you've agreed to them just because you're agreeable. Right? Let's see. What else did I want to take? But yeah, this is about not conforming. This is about stepping out and expressing yourself. Tell me more about the purpose of this connection. Wow. Whoa, interesting. So for some of you, this might be something that leads towards a long-term connection, maybe as a marriage, a family member, or something like that, or just somebody who sticks around for the good. There also could be business correlations here, like business collaborations, home eventually, real estate. I don't know, maybe something very stable, long-term investment, I want to say. But this is like, it does feel like this is kind of something for the long term, to be honest. For a lot of you, I don't feel like this is a passing connection, to be honest. Like some of the other ones, I couldn't promise that they'd stick around or not, but this one feels like the long haul. Like this could be somehow that you stay connected to this person for a very long time, maybe, like I said, through business or relationship or something like that. Again, this might also be helping you see potential, financial potential even, or the potential of bringing something to the physical realm. Maybe a lot of you have imagination, and it's all about creating, you know, the routine to get it done, you know. And maybe for some of you, you need that person. You know, for me, even just doing my astrology readings, I needed encouragement. Even though I was studying it, it's like I've been studying astrology for like literally almost 17 years now. Like this year, actually, it'll be 17 years that I've been seriously studying it. And I'm not talking about like I read a Linda Goodman book. I read those when I was a kid, but I mean like actual like learning, like where I was really buying like in-depth books. I was already doing horary, you know, like not too long after I first began, as an example. And although I'm still not an expert on that, I feel, but I've never feel like an expert. That's just my nature. I always feel like there's more to learn. But you know, it was such an insecurity for me, and without like, for instance, Astro Wheel of Fortune, Vlada, or my friend Ashutosh that you might see in the comments, or my husband, I wouldn't have probably done astrology readings. Those three like really encouraged me a lot. My mom also, by the way. Thank you, Mom. But it's like I had so much insecurity about it, and they were like, just do it, you know, and I want to see it, and like honestly, like without them I would have never done it. I probably would have just kept being shy about it and doing it maybe on the side when people really asked me privately or something like that, then I do it. But yeah, it's been a huge, like, I don't know why, but when I feel something is important to me, it's all harder to do. And I've had that with writing too. I don't know if some of you might relate to that in some way, where if you care about something a lot, you have a really hard time like creating it in a physical sense because you're afraid to fuck it up, or sorry for the F word, but you know what I mean. You're afraid to mess it up or make it bad or do it wrong, or you overthink it, and maybe this is a connection that's just meant to kind of help you reach dreams. I do feel like a strong support, and maybe for you're that person for them, you know what I mean, like I said, but this is all about reaching and taking steps forward, emotional support, love, longevity. Like I really do feel like this could be like a long-term friendship, business, a relationship, I don't know, something long-term, something about letting go of the past things and really moving forward. I think, like I said, this is probably my favorite pile out of all of these. I think this one's a keeper, this type of connection. Doesn't have to be, like I said, of any kind of romance, but yeah, it's like manifest. It says to create, to bring into existence, to make into reality. There we have the pen that can literally. One thing I would say to you guys too, if you really are into manifestation or connecting to your spirit guides, you guys might want to get like a journal. Writing things down is like magic, actually. It's like even stronger. Even when I light a candle for a new moon, I write down what I want on the glass of the jar. I get like the big 7-day candles, like those big ones, or you could use anything you want, but like, I mean, because you could write it with a pin on a pillar candle, but it's just a little bit more of a pain in the ass, I think. I feel like it's better just to get those like glass candles, but you write down everything you want. And we're still in well, as I'm doing this, we're still in new moon energy, but I just wanted to record something really quickly because I know I hadn't, and I wanted to be sure I did get something out there this week because I've been super overwhelmed and busy. But yeah, this looks like a really interesting connection, and I wish the best for this one because I think there's a lot to blossom here and a lot to come. And yeah, so I wish you all the very, very best that are watching this. I hope that this reading finds you happy, healthy, and doing good. I'd love it if you subscribed and stuck around, but otherwise I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.